Kyle Ferroli. I'd like to tell you about my new book coming out. It's called Check Your Blind Spot, The 7 Ways We Unintentionally Destroy Our Health, Happiness, and Productivity. And while destroy is a very harsh word, what we're doing to ourselves is even worse. When we sense something in our environment and it's not going the way we like, it causes us to go into something called the fight or flight response. Now, it could be something small, like somebody not liking a picture we posted on Facebook, or it could be a bear chasing you and you're worried about your life. Both cases can trigger you to feel that it's a threat and there's a problem. I've identified 7 areas that I feel most people fall into, and I'm basing this on over 2 decades studying the mind, and I'm in my 2nd decade now studying the brain. Our environment is number 1. There are things like the red bow on the Lexus at Christmas, or the bank card, or the vacation that we maybe can't afford, or the diamond that we're supposed to have, or how happy everybody looks in every commercial. It sets us off to think, act, and feel a certain way. Blind spot number 2 is our mind. We have unrealistic expectations, irrational beliefs, and negative thoughts that cloud us. And we compare the world in blind spot number 1 to that. And then that leads to blind spot number 3, the problems in our brain. Now, you know, mind and brain are 2 different things. The brain is the physical organ that can get hung up in this fight or flight mode. And it can send signals to the body that there's a problem. And it can receive signals from the body that there's a problem. What we have then is we look at our body's nervous system. When we constantly tax it, it starts to break down and we don't even know it. And nervous system activity and brain activity and mental strife and struggle can lead to a lot of the common problems that we see. You may not be diagnosed with something, but you may not be as happy, healthy, or productive as you'd like to be. The next one, of course, is traditional medicine. The area of psychology and brain activity is the only area of traditional medicine that they aren't looking at the organ they treat. They guess. They base it on symptoms. It's not their fault. It's how the system is set up. But there are things like the EEG, which can measure brainwave activity, and the physiological changes made in your nervous system through biofeedback equipment, where we can see what's happening. The next blind spot, number 6, is the field of self-help. As soon as doctors don't get things figured out for us, what do? We go and self-medicate. We read everything online. We start reading books, going to seminars, listening to podcasts, hoping that we'll find an answer. But again, we're not looking at the organ we treat. We're still not. I've been a self-help junkie for over 20 years now. But now I understand, 20 years later, that not every program is made for me at that moment. Self-help is a wonderful tool, but it has to be at the right time. If you are worried or running for your life, you probably don't need to listen to the latest, greatest self-help or leadership book. You need to survive. If you're financially in a lot of trouble, you need to get out of that mess, that problem, before you just try and read a book on how to be rich. If you have trouble communicating with people, you need to get out of that fight or flight response, turn your brain back on the right way, so you can learn what empathy is and have a little of it so people are willing to be around you. See, these are just basic things. And lastly, the last blind spot is very important to me. And it is a very touchy topic because some people are very religious and some people are not. Some people are very spiritual and some are not. Some people belong to a political party or a group or something that they really value. And they want everyone to see it the way they see it. But you don't have to. All you have to do is have something that's bigger than you that guides you. And here's why. I'm not trying to make everybody believe a certain thing. But I know when I'm having a day that's not my best, and I have something bigger than me that pulls me through that. I'm going to leave it vague so we don't do any hidden agendas here. But when something helps pull you through, whether it's a family, whether it's a God, whether it's spirituality, whether it's being part of a group of some kind, political, a music group, an art group, there's something that needs you, something that helps you, something that you help. It helps you get through those days that are bad. And sometimes it's not enough just to say, well, I have a family, because what happens if your family's not there? So then you may have to dig a little bit deeper to something else that's bigger than you that might help explain some of the things. Now I'm getting in that area where I want to go that I can't go because I'm trying to respect everybody's views. I have a good friend whose dad's a Christian pastor. I also have a friend who's Jewish. And I have another friend who doesn't believe in anything. And I don't share views with all three of them the same way. But I do know that each of those people have something in their life that's bigger than them that they kind of go to as guidance or for wisdom or for just being part of. And that's what I think is important, is that we have something that's bigger than us. We don't rely on the latest, greatest book or tape or method. We know that doctors don't have all the answers. We know that our body's nervous system may not be regulated. We know that our brainwave activity could be holding us back or limiting us. We know that our mind has some things in it that may not be very good for our processing and for our happiness. And we know that we live in a world that challenges us. I think you'll enjoy the book. I've enjoyed writing it and speaking on it. And I really hope that it opens your eyes, similar to what Albert Einstein says, and that problems cannot be solved with the mindset that created them. And the way I see that is that you need to get in front of the problem you have by identifying these things in your mind, brain, and body, being careful of what you do with traditional medicine, self-help, and having a bigger picture. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you maybe on a stage soon, more on the website and the videos, or at our center in the Midwest. Thanks.